I heard they checking for me, no one checking on me, so I had to go run up a check.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Spot Real Talk. My name is Cierra.
I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Ron.
And today we have the very special honor of interviewing with Cierra Glaude. She is the director behind some of our favorite shows, including this week's episode of PowerBook IV Force.
Mhm.
And that is titled War and Ice Cream. She's also directed for P-Valley, The Chi, 20s. She's going to be directing and raising Kanan soon, as well as possibly BMF. So, you know, she's got a lot going on, and she is making it happen in such a small amount of time. She has an incredible story. So here we go. Yeah, Cierra, it's definitely a pleasure, like Ron said. We are very happy to be speaking with you, especially since you worked on so many of our favorite shows that we recap. So it's really a treat for us.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Absolutely.
Yes, so my co-host Ron is going to get us kicked off.
Sweet. Let's get it.
Okay, well, you know what? I hear that Southern hospitality in your voice. So here's my question. I've heard on other talk shows that you call yourself Southern Belle from Mobile, Alabama, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But my question to you is, how difficult growing up in Mobile, Alabama, would you say was to actually be able to break that Hollywood veil and to become who you are?
It's interesting because people are always like, when did you figure out like film was a thing? I said, film found me. I didn't know that like filmmaking was even a thing until like late high school when I was doing like a video journalism class. And I was also the junior class president. And then I went on to be SGA president. So I was in charge of pep rallies. And I also started the video announcements on the CCTV. And everybody was saying, hey, you need to go to school for this, go to school for this. And I was like, never heard of it. You're crazy. But when I went up to the University of Alabama, I went undecided and I was like, I'll try it. And took my first class, fell in love, and then started shooting for the Black Greeks on campus, started making other films and stuff with my peers. And then towards the end of my college stint, I met Ava DuVernay right before Selma. And then I dropped out to go work with her. Highly recommend. And, you know, I just went out there and did my thing. And so it's because of people like her that, you know, let me work on all her shows, let me learn, you know, how to be from the ground up, basically. Because I was a PA. I was a first team PA, a walkie PA, like started at the bottom. And I feel like that definitely helps inform me as a director because like I'm in tune with the different, you know, departments and stuff like that. But it was really just like working on other people's things, working on my own things independently and putting my stuff out there and my vision and, you know, just like my capabilities that, and then she gave me a shot with Queen Sugar. And then, you know, other people gave me opportunities and I've done a lot of shows with stars and stuff like that. P-Valley, Power Force, Raising Kanan. I got BMF coming up. And so it's like, I never knew film was a thing, but it found me. And then, you know, I just been having a really good time with it. And I think my calling came to me.
Perfect love relationship. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. I'm gonna piggyback on what you're saying because you just mentioned a giant, Ava DuVernay, and then you also mentioned another giant, Lena, Waithe, who we've had on our show too. We've interviewed her and we recap 20s, and I know you worked on 20s, and we recapped the Chi and everything. So I just wanted to know if both Ava and Lena gave you any sage advice about being in the industry.
Well, Ava just always, her big thing for me is just make sure you having fun. She came to my first, it wasn't my first short, it was my second short. She came to the set of that. That was the first one she came to for my film Spilt Milk that Lena helped me do through AT&T Hello Lab. She picked me as a part of that program. And Ava came to set and she was like, you know, you set the tone. Well, she told me that before we got to set. She was like, you set the tone and like the morale and stuff on set. And when she came to set, she said, the energy here is great. And so it was things like that that I really just like in particular on is the vibe that's going on. Cause it's like, we spend so much time with people on set, like more than their families, you know? So I feel like we as directors have a responsibility to like get the work done in a, you know, a dope and timely fashion and have a good time while we're doing it, because we're not saving lives, you know what I'm saying? So like just making sure we're having a good time and just being on your stuff, you know, like that was Lena's big thing, is just like being on your P's and Q's. And one of the reviews I get a lot is people be like, man, Shooter, like you really know what you want. And for me, somebody that's wishy-washy, I'm like, I do. I love it. You know what I'm saying? But it's because like also I'm an overthinker. And so I go in with plan A through like elemental P already like stashed, you know what I'm saying? So I think it just allows me to, you know, be on my feet. And my first couple episodes that I ever shot were in the middle of the pandemic. Where it's, you know, we're block shooting the whole season. We have 10 hours and 3 directors are sharing the day. So like I know how to just kind of get in there, get what I need, and maintain my bedtime.
Well, we see that you did your thing with this episode, War and Ice Cream.
That's right.
Yes.
Team effort for sure. Like shout out to like Jody in the camera department. They really know the look of the show, and you know I tell them, hey, cover the scene for me. I'll have a couple like special shots that I want, and then I like to say I'm an actor's director, and so you know I consult with them. Nobody knows these characters better than them. So like, who would I be to miss that cheat code? And so like, I let them try things and like really tap into like who their character is or places they want to try to go and like go or grow and stuff like that. So they really helped me out a lot too. You know what I'm saying? So team effort. But thank you.
And what I was going to say kind of piggybacks off what you just said, because I was wondering what are some of the top things that you're paying attention to when you're directing?
Yeah, I'm paying attention to options. Like I like a lot of options. I be thinking in the edit, like I don't require the take to have all my notes and all the crescendos and decrescendos from top to bottom, because I know I have an editor. So on like certain takes, I'll be like, try this one. So for example, the first scene of the episode, Tommy getting out the car, he was getting out the car and he had good energy and stuff like that. And I said, hey, I just want to try one where I want people at the other end of the street to want to know what's going on this end of the street. And he got out that car and he lost it. And that's what made it in there. And he actually broke the door on the car. He slammed the door so hard. But like a little while later, one of the transpo guys came down. He said, y'all all right down here? I heard a lot of commotion. I told Joseph, I said, we did it. Mission accomplished. You understood the assignment. So for me as a director, it's like getting the options and just trying things and having it in the can to like go play with in the edit and stuff like that. Paying attention to the background, make sure like they look good and natural, because sometimes I look beyond what's happening right there and seeing what's going on just to try to keep it real. But the assistant directors and the second seconds, like they be having that on lock. So shout out to them.
I'm going to ask you a question. And piggyback on something you said a little earlier. You mentioned that you were a little wishy-washy, but contrary to what Lena Waithe has said about you, in fact, she called you a straight no chaser kind of person. What you see is what you get. So elaborate on that a little bit. Obviously, you're not as wishy-washy as you may think you are.
Yeah, no, I'm a Virgo, so like I do know what I want. Like I am a straight.
I know what you are.
And you know, like when it comes to like just saying what I need and want and stuff like that, that kind of just goes back to the options as a director. Because again, it's like this is not my baby. I'm over here trying to get you all the things you think you may need for the story that you're trying to tell. So sometimes, like in scenes, I'll have an alternate ending. All right, stay there and just simmer on the couch. Think about what's going on, or get up out of there. So I have different options for like the end pieces and stuff like that. So just kind of like keeping those kind of fresh and flexible. Also, because again, sometimes they give us more stuff to shoot than we got time for in the actual episode, and you want to give yourself different out points and stuff like that preemptively.
Okay. Yeah. And I was going to ask you too, of all the projects that you worked on and the very different actors and actresses that you've encountered, do you have a favorite experience that all of them?
All of them. I mean, Queen Sugar is always like, my heart, because that's where I got my start. I went from being a PA on the first season to directing season 5. But there's something that I just love about everybody that I come across. Like, it's so hard for me going to all these episodes sometimes because I make so many different friends in a 3-week period and then I'm gone. But like one thing that was lovely about Power Force was I actually worked with a lot of the same crew earlier on the shot. And so it was like I got to go back to hang out with my friends again. And we were already ingrained and stuff like that. So like each experience is different. And it's sometimes I don't think it's fair for me to be like, oh, this one was my favorite. Although like if you know me, you know like what's in my heart. But man, the people that I come across like on each one of these, actors, crew, stuff like that, like wouldn't trade them for the world.
Okay. Well, I'll pass the tip to close us out.
Oh, well, I wanted to know how you felt about being part of the Power universe.
I love it. So I've done Power Force, and then I did an episode of Raising Kanan. I'm pandering for an episode of Ghost because I just need one of those. Like I even have canes. Look, I want to show y'all something. Look, I got these canes from each one of the Power universes. This one was one out of Walter's office, and then this one was from my Raising Kanan episode. You see if you see it in the episode. But yeah, so like I love being in the Power universe. I feel like I'm a power girly. You know, I'm just trying to collect my Infinity Stones with the spinoffs at this point. I got 2 of them, so.
That is super dope. So I thought we could stay here and ask you 1,000,001 other questions, but we don't want to hold you up too long. We know you got other things to do, but we are so appreciative of your time that you've given us.
Absolutely. Well, y'all can hit up my team at Shooter Did It, and if y'all want to get together on some other stuff, I'd be happy.
Oh, I would love that.
Definitely.
We would love
Absolutely.
that. And I also had to say Roll Tide. I'm not from
Roll
Alabama.
Tide.
Yeah,
we had a rough week.
I'm not from Alabama, but y'all gave us Jalen Hurts. I'm from Philly, so we'll take him. Thank you.
All right.
Sierra, I'll send them your assistant's information
Okay, sweet, fabulous.
so we can connect you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time.
Definitely.
Thank you guys for
We
showing up.
definitely appreciate it.